it's time to talk about Dormy! I was a dorm student. I didn't stay with a host family, so I can't tell you much about the host families, but I can tell you a whole lot about the dorm. The dorm that we stayed at was called Dormy Barakinakayama Ladies. As the name suggests, it is a ladies-only dormitory. It is an international dormitory as well. The people staying there are of various different ethnicities. You have college students, you have young business professionals, and you have abroad students like us. There were lots of very friendly dorm residents there. There were people from China, Japan, India, America, Australia, you name it. Primarily, it will be Japanese residents. This dorm and several others are all controlled by one particular company. Each dorm is managed by a family who also lives in the dorm. Our family at Dormy was a man, his wife, and his daughter. We could never remember their names, so we ended up giving them nicknames. The father was Dormy Sensei. The mother, who was often cooking, was Dormy Cooking Mama, and the daughter was just daughter. We didn't see her a lot. She was in school and usually doing homework in the back. One of the great things about this family who manages the dorm is that even though there was upwards of 100 different girls staying there, they always took the time to very quickly remember your name. They would call for me, they would tell me hello, and all by name, so it made you feel very much like a part of a family. They're very kind people. They look out for you a lot, especially Dormy Sensei. He was very, very protective of us, even always reminding us to close our curtains, especially at night, so that no boys across the way could see us. They're very, very strict on their policies. One of their policies is that no males are allowed past the entryway of the building. This includes family, so if for whatever reason your family comes to visit you, your father, your brother, your cousin, whatever, if it is a man, they do not go past the entryway. When you move in, Dormy Sensei will be there to greet you, as will likely his wife as well. He'll introduce you to his wife and his daughter, but he'll do all of the introduction and orientation to the dorm. He'll walk around the dorm, show you where everything is at, the showers, the bath, the rooms, the office, where to sign out items. You can rent vacuums and irons from them, and he'll show you where all of that is located. Now, the only difficult part was that he spoke pretty much no English whatsoever. So for us, we were lucky because we had 2 one-year students who were still living at the dorm. They spoke pretty good Japanese, so they could translate for him. How he will handle and does handle other situations where there is not someone there to translate for him, I don't know. So I figured that I would give you a little rundown of some of his basic policies that you'll really need to know. First off, you have to keep quiet after about 9 p.m. You have to keep in mind that not everyone in the building is a student. So even though it's Friday night, the person next door to you might be going to work in the morning. So keep it quiet. They say the walls are paper thin, but I never heard my neighbors on either side, so I don't think they're really that bad. Plus I heard someone 2 rooms down playing pretty loud music when they opened their door, but I couldn't hear a thing. So I think you're safe to make some noise, like, for example, if you want to call your family and it's late at night, which might be the case because of the time zone difference, it's okay to talk to them. Just don't yell and scream at them, obviously. There are 2 rooms with showers, with 2 showers each. They are private stalls. They are not out in the open for everyone to see. There's also a sink in each one as well. These showers are open early in the morning till late at night. Pretty much any time of day you can shower, really. However, they are being cleaned between 9 and 10 a.m., so they ask that you please do not go and take a shower too close to 9 o'clock where you might still be in there, because it will hinder them being able to clean. There's also a public bath on the opposite side of the building. You can go in, do the traditional style bath where you shower off, and then you go and sit in the onsen-like bath. I never tried that one, but it looked very relaxing, and it's also open pretty much morning until night. I'm not sure when it closes, but I want to say 9 or 10. You'll need to be prompt for breakfast and dinner. They do serve you breakfast and dinner Monday through Saturday. Sunday and national holidays, they will not be serving any food. You will need to go and find your own on those days, as well as for lunch too. Breakfast for us, Monday through Friday, was 6:30 a.m. until 8:30 a.m. They ask that you do not go in the last 10-15 minutes and start eating, especially if you're going to take a while to eat, because they want the kitchen ladies to be able to get everything cleaned and closed up. Saturdays, breakfast started around 7 or 7:30, I believe, and was served served later, I want to say till about 10:30. Dinner is the same kind of concept. Monday through Friday, dinner started at 6:30 in the evening and was served until about 10:30 at night. Saturdays were a little bit later, maybe 11:30. Dormy Sensei will give you a packet of information that will be in English, so you can go over the regulations that he has on your own, but to give you an idea beforehand so that you can also have an idea of what he's telling you, here are some of the basic regulations that they have. The manager's office is open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., so you can get a hold of him at any time. If it is after or before hours, though, he also has a doorbell set up by his office door that will ring back to his home inside the building, and he'll come out and see what you need. There is a shower on one side of the building, 2 different rooms with 2 showers each. They are closed in so no one can see you as you change and shower, etc. Previously, when I looked at the dorms, I was under the impression that it was going to be like a big gym shower room where you just went in with everyone, but that's not the case. They are private stalls. There are also outlets, so if you want to blow dry your hair after quiet hour, you can do so inside of the shower room. Showers are open 24 hours, so you can shower any time of day that you want. However, they do clean them around 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., so they ask that you don't shower too close to those times where you might still be in there when they need to clean, and don't go down to shower between 9 and 10. You can do laundry between 8:30 a.m. and 10 p.m. The washers are free of charge. They're pretty small washers. You don't want to put a whole lot in at one time, especially because drying them is kind of a pain in the butt. Most people don't really use the dryer much. There is a coin-operated dryer that costs 1,000 yen for 30 minutes. It does not dry your clothes very well at all. Most people line dry all of their clothes right outside of their dorm room. Right outside the dorm room is 2 hooks where you can buy the laundry line and clips and set your laundry out to dry. There's also a spot on the roof where you can go and hang your laundry as well if you need to. For pants, I suggest that you use that coin-operated dryer because I found that my jeans would get stretched out if I tried to dry them on the line, so I ended up just coughing up the money and drying my jeans inside of the dryer instead. I also had a problem with the rope on the laundry line rubbing into the fabric of some of my clothes and made a strange texture on them that I really didn't like, so I went with the dryer through a lot of my clothes. There's also a public bath in addition to the showers. It's on the opposite side of the building. The public bath is sort of like a Japanese onsen, traditional bath, where you wash yourself outside of the bath and then get into the hot water and soak for a while. Monday through Saturday, that bath is open 6:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Sunday, it's open 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Anytime that the office is closed, you cannot use the bath. This can include public holidays. In that case, you want to use the showers instead. Breakfast and dinner is served at the dorm, with the exception of Sundays and national holidays. Those days and lunch, you'll need to get your own food at either the konbini or neighboring restaurants. I'll have a blog about the konbinis later. For breakfast, Monday through Friday, breakfast is served 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Saturday, 6:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Dinner is served 6:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. and Saturday, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. They ask in addition to this that you don't go down very late to eat breakfast or dinner. So don't go down in the last 10 or 15 minutes and cause the kitchen staff to have to stay open and clean more when eating time is already over. So try to go down at least 30 minutes before they stop serving. They also ask that you don't take any of these meals to your room. There are some slight exceptions. For example, some breakfasts, they include a banana. If you don't eat your banana, it's fine to take that to your room. But they don't want you taking whole plates of food to your room where it might get smelly, attract bugs, and have to be cleaned up later. Plus, they want their dishes. Another big regulation that they seem very serious about, but it ends up being a bit of an exception, is when their quote-unquote gate closes. There's no real gate. It's a curtain over the door. They want you back to the dorm by midnight. I have come in 5-10 minutes after midnight a few different times, and it's not a big deal. Their main concern is that you are back and you are accounted for. Obviously, the dorm manager is not going to stay up all night long and count all the heads, so they just want to make sure that you are back around midnight. Don't take advantage of that. Don't come back too late. Don't come back late every single night. But if you catch the last train home and you don't get back until 12:15, it's okay. They're not going to yell at you. They just want you back and accounted for. So the layout of the dorm is the next big fun thing. Here I'll get to show you some pictures and videos that I took of the dorm and kind of give you an idea of dorm life. When you first get into the building, you'll have a lower down area. This is the entrance area. That's where the men cannot go past. The doors are glass doors, but they are locked, and you cannot enter these doors unless you have a key with the chip. Each one is assigned to you by the dorm manager according to your room. You use this little chip to buzz yourself in as well as buzz yourself out. There are 2 different spots to buzz out when you are leaving. One of them is just labeled going out. That's when you're going to school to eat, whatever, you're going to be back by midnight. There's also a section of sleeping out. So if you're going to go somewhere and be out all night, you're not going to come back, you're going on a trip somewhere, you'll do sleeping out instead. However, if you are going to do sleeping out, make sure that you fill out the orange form by his office. It's all in Japanese and a lot of kanji, so you'll need someone to show you how to fill it out first unless your kanji is just really good. The basic information you're going to fill out on there, though, is your name, what program you're with, what your room number is, approximately where you're going to be. You don't have to give an address or anything. If you just want to say you're going to a friend's birthday party, you're going to karaoke, that's perfectly fine. Even just saying I'm going to Shinjuku. If you're going to go out and go to a bar or a club all night long, which some of my friends did, they just put going to Shinjuku, going to Shibuya, and then the phone number you can be reached at. And you can also add on other people's names if they're going to be with you as well, so you don't have to fill out more than one form. Next to the entryway to the right is his office. To the left is the shoe cubbies. Right next to the shoe cubby entryway, you'll notice a big TV screen. It'll have on that screen if anyone has any packages, if it's anyone's birthday, and any other relevant information he might need to share with you. When you get into the cubby area, there are many little doors with cubby assigned to your room. You'll put your shoes and slippers in that cubby. Mind you, you cannot wear your shoes inside the building past the entryway, so you will need to have a pair of slippers. You'll have them in that cubby anytime that you leave, so when you come in, you'll take your shoes off before you go into the cubby room, go in, put your shoes inside the cubby, and take your slippers out. There is a shelf so that you can put 3 pairs of shoes or slippers inside of your cubby. Leaving the cubby area, there's a small lounge area with a couch, a dartboard, a vending machine for drinks. I love that vending machine. It has coffee in it, which is wonderful every morning to be able to grab it and go. When you're in that little lounge area, to your left down the hall is the showers. To your right down the hall will be the showers, a bathroom, and at the very end, the kitchen and dining area. Inside that kitchen and dining area is regular Western style seating with chair and table, and then there's also Japanese style sitting with tatami mat and low tables. After that, you just go upstairs to one of the different floors. There's 4 floors altogether. You'll have the key to your room. Very small room, not a whole lot in there. There's a small cabinet closet with a couple of doors at the bottom. You get a bookshelf, a small dresser, a desk, your bed, which will have a bookshelf at the headboard. The beds are pretty solid. There's not a whole lot of supports. There's not a whole lot of softness to them. The pillows, in my opinion, are awful. They are rice pillows, so it's basically just beans in the pillow that just surround your head at night, and they are hard and uncomfortable. I had to buy a different pillow. I could not do those pillows. However, other people said they got used to them, and they actually kind of liked them after a while, so you might try it out for a night or 2 before you can go buy a pillow and see how you adjust to it. At the end of your room is a large sliding glass door. There will be a step up about half a foot maybe. Slide that door open. There's a screen, so you can have the door open when it's nice out and have just the screen closed, and then open that up. There's a small balcony area where you can go and hang your laundry at. The ledge goes all the way up to the laundry line, so if you do have laundry hanging out, people outside of the dorm cannot see all of your clothes out to dry. However, this does mean that some of the area is shaded during the day, so be careful when you hang your laundry, or if you're leaving it out, you don't want to grow any mold on them. There are no bathrooms inside of the dorms. They are shared bathrooms. Now, the bathrooms are actually kind of cool, though. Like many Japanese bathrooms, they have the option of a Western-style toilet as well as a Japanese that we call squatty potties. First off, the Western-style toilets are bidets. Easy to flush, just don't press anything on the side. The toilet seats are pretty nice. They're plastic, so they don't get extra cold like the porcelain kind, and there's a warmer on the toilet seats, so your butt always stays nice and warm. If you choose the squatty potty option, this is what they look like. They're basically a hole in the floor. They remind me of small urinals that were put on the floor instead of on the wall. They're not the easiest to use, however, I never had an issue using them when I had to, and believe me, you will have to. There are some train stations, parks, and other places where they do not even have Western-style toilets. Others only have a couple, and if they're taken, and you really gotta go, or you really gotta get to your next destination, you just gotta use them. Just be careful, and don't rush yourself, or else you're gonna make a mess on yourself, as well as the floor. Next to the bathrooms, there is a laundry area. There's also a small kitchen area right there with the washer washers and dryer. There are 2 washers and then 1 dryer because not a lot of people use them. Washers are super easy to use. You'll press 2 buttons total to get it working, and that's it. At the pharmacy down the road, there's really easy detergent packages where it's just paused just like you would get for, your dishwasher. We have some at home for Tide as well. Buy those, throw 1 or 2 into your laundry. You don't have to measure anything out. Push your 2 buttons and you're good to go. The small kitchen area has a stovetop that I've yet to figure out how to work. Never could get the flame to come on. Dormy Sensei does go over it with you at the very beginning. I just couldn't remember how to. So if you plan on making tea, food, whatever, try to remember what he does because it's magical in my opinion. There's also a sink there. You can wash vegetables, fruits, whatever. The dorm manager and family will also include a couple of activities for everyone in the dorm, sometimes especially for IES students. For example, we had a little barbecue get-together at one point in the semester. I unfortunately was already going out and traveling that day, so I didn't get to participate in that one. However, when he learned when we were all leaving for sure, he quickly gathered up and made a barbecue for everyone in the dorm as our last little celebration together. It did cost 500 yen to be able to participate in the barbecue, but that's reasonable considering the fact that it's mostly a lot of meat, so you have to be able to cover that cost. I don't blame him for that. It was a lot of fun though. It kind of made me already miss the dorm a little bit. It was very much like a family setting. He was very much a fatherly figure, but he didn't get in anybody's business. He would ask you a few questions here and there about how something was going, or are you going out to karaoke? Are you, where are you heading to tonight? But nothing that would pry too far. He'd come out and just try to let you know about the weather. Hey, it's raining. Do you have an umbrella? At one point it was raining, and even though I had an umbrella, he was already going to be leaving to go somewhere, and so he kindly offered me a ride to the station and dropped me off there before he went on his way. Very, very kind man. Very, very kind family. They will try to come out and talk to you. As I said, they really don't speak any English. At first, even though I have learned some Japanese, I couldn't understand his Japanese. He has a bit of an accent, different dialect than the Tokyo dialect, so I didn't understand him very well, but he still tried every once in a while come out and say something simple. It's raining. Do you have an umbrella? Like I said. And if I couldn't understand him, we would try to charade our way through it. But eventually, I was able to communicate a little bit more with him, even if it wasn't a lot, and that made him really happy, and I appreciated the fact that he still tried. He didn't look at me and say, oh, she doesn't understand me, I just won't talk to her. He gave it time. He knew that we were all taking Japanese language classes, and then he would try again with something else that was fairly small. And that was really encouraging for a lot of us to be able to still be able to try and not feel awkward thinking, oh gosh, he's never going to try and talk to us again. He thinks we're stupid. That's definitely not the case. He still tried and really encouraged us to keep trying ourselves. If you're still torn between the dorm and the host family, I would definitely vouch for the dorm. It was a wonderful place to meet lots and lots of people, and if you do go to the dorm, I suggest talking to those other people, not just the IES students, because they are great people, and especially if you want to practice your Japanese, there's tons of Japanese residents there that would be more than happy to talk with you, especially if you teach them a little bit of English too. The last little piece of advice I have for you is to take advantage of some of the nights at the dorm. You don't have to go out every single night, and depending on how many IES students are in the dorm with you, a really fun thing that we did was to go out on the rooftop, the very, very top of the building where I said you could hang laundry. You can go to at night. I'm pretty sure the dorm manager knew that we would go up there. He just really didn't mind it. He made little comments about going up to the roof at night if we didn't have anything to do. Sometimes we'd go up and we would eat snacks and just talk, and we would go over our experiences so far and how we like our classes, how we like Japan, where we want to go, do we want to make plans for the week or a trip or whatever. Being up on the roof was a great place to just spot the city. You could see the trains running from the background. You could sometimes see the fireworks from Disneyland from up there. It's a great place to go and check out at night. So I suggest go up there, especially if it's after quiet hours. You can go up there and be a little bit louder without other people being disturbed. That's it for this blog. Let's see, next time I'll go over a little bit on the classes. I already talked about how you'll pick them in orientation, but I'll give you an idea of some of the classes, what there are. I'll show you some pictures of field trips that we went on in the classes that I took, and then blog after that I'll go over some places that you can go, and then some places I traveled, and some things to do while you're in the area. See you next time.